pause.
Yeah, strategically paused at a certain number. Actually, failure to host correctly by not looking up the number ahead of time.
482.
482.
42.
Or episode 1 of season 3.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Our seasons are when we want them to be.
Pretty much. It's kind of like if there's a major shift in graphics on the YouTube is kind of, I don't know.
I'd support it.
Or we could do, format change.
That sounds like a lot of work, though.
True.
Let me tell you guys what has been a lot of work. I took my car in to get some maintenance done. When? Well, I'll let you guess. When do you think I took my car in? And it is now today, January 6th, as of this recording.
This implies you do not have the car returned to you.
Can't tell you until you tell me when you think I took it in.
I'm gonna say before Christmas, in December, but before Christmas.
Did the car go to Toyota or did it go to BMW?
The car goes to Toyota. It's not Toyota does all the work. BMW doesn't do any work.
Okay. December 28th.
These are both very good guesses. Michael, I guess, was closer by absolute, but if we're doing by not going over, Andrew would be right. I took it in on the 26th of December. Today's the 6th.
Yeah.
I still don't know the total scope of the things that they want to fix.
Why it just went in for maintenance?
So I hit a rock, a sizable sized rock, under the car at some point. It broke off a piece of like plastic that's underneath the bottom, like an air diverter thing.
Oh my God.
These are like, you think of like the kinds of rocks that you would see along the side, like in a planter or whatever, right? Like a stone, not like a little rock, right?
Something you could pick up, but you might need a weightlifting belt.
No, I think you could lift it pretty easily, but it's big, right? It's not like 20 pounds. It's like 5 pounds maybe.
So it's only one stone.
Yes, one.
That was a weight joke for the people.
I appreciated that. Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
Man, I should have gotten that. I've been reading Lord of the Rings recently, and that's like very in that zone, right?
Oh man, we should talk about that for sure today.
Well, maybe we will. Who knows if it was already on this list? But so I broke this piece of plastic. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I want to get this piece of plastic fixed. It like probably dinged up the bottom of the car badly because it made a hell of a noise. Like my car is low. The stone was like not. Obviously, my car did go over it, but like not well. And so I was like, okay, like I want to get this fixed. Also, like, I'm at a certain amount of mileage that it's probably time to do some brakes and, various maintenance type activities. So I took it in the day after Christmas and they looked at it that day and they're like, oh yeah, like we can see the brakes here. Like this is definitely time for replacement on these. There's some mileage related things we want to do, oil change, blah, blah, blah. And then this picture, and they're like, this little trim piece is not a big deal, very easy to replace, inexpensive. Like, oh, you could also, there's a big scrape along the underside of the car that you could replace, and that's like $600 or whatever. But they're like, you don't really have to do that. It's like the under of the car who kind of cares, right? Yeah. Sure. Like, but this, and they took a picture of this thing where the trim piece was removed. They're like, this is a problem. You probably want to fix this. And it's like, I didn't know the names of these parts at the time. Do now. Where the suspension meets the, I guess it's the subframe of the car. There's like a circle, and there's a big divot taken out of that circle. This is metal,
like a joint, like a chassis joint.
I would not call it a joint. I would say it's maybe fitting is the word. I don't know the appropriate term for the thing. It's a circular piece with another piece inside it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a large chunk taken out of the circle. The circle is not broken. It is not broken off, but like a piece of it has sheared, maybe.
Did that come from the same rock, or did that happen afterwards because the piece was missing?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Don't know. But
Crazy.
they're like, yeah, this is bad. That piece, the piece that sheared is the subframe. They're like, we would not consider this safe to drive. When did this happen?
Oh, really?
And I'm like, more than a week ago. And they're like, oh, you should probably fix this. And then they quoted me some large number.
Uh-oh.
And then they're like, I was like, oh, okay. Well, like, what is the damage? They're like, well, so we don't have a body shop here. We have to take it to this place. And then, they wanted to do more inspections to see. Yeah. And so now, anyway, it's been 2 weeks. So pretty pissed off about that whole thing. Not super happy.
We also are in maintenance mode over here. But I didn't want to end your story if you're still going. Sorry.
Do you want to hear me like yell about these people some more? Because that's like kind of all I got left. Is that like I'm annoyed that no one will tell me. Like I want a list of what is wrong and how much it costs to fix, and then I can approve it or send it to the insurance, and that's all I want. And they can't give it to me. It's been a week.
Oh, because insurance, that makes a lot of sense. Actually,
I'm happy to pay for it myself. Tell me what's wrong though. Like do it. Put it on a paper. Tell me the number, and they won't.
Yeah.
We are not in insurance or information territory over here. We have plenty of information. The problem is the expense of that information and the surprise that both cars being at 65,000 miles means things are failing on both of them that should not be, like rear shocks.
65?
Oh, 60. I mean, 65K is one of those numbers where a bunch of things start breaking. So
yeah, rear shocks. Both cars, which is crazy to me because rear shocks should last longer than that. You would think. One of the cars has an auto leveling rear suspension because of towing. So those shocks are quite expensive.
I would have just believed if you had just told me they were expensive because car big heavy.
Yeah. No, they were like, here's the regular shock price in case you don't want to put the leveling shocks back in. I was like, oh, well, I kind of want to make sure that I have all the features of my car, but sure, thank you for the information. Now, how much are the shocks that are already on my car? They're like, well, we have to buy them from Hyundai, even though we're an independent shop.
Mm-hmm.
This is the price. And I was like, oh my God.
So did you cool, consider removing that feature from your car?
I was talking with the guy, and this is why I go to an independent shop, and he's like, it's not that bad yet. There's no cupping on your tires. There's no like ride. The ride hasn't changed. It's just a leak. And so like you could wait this out longer and just see what happens. Maybe the leak will stop. Maybe it won't. If it starts to affect your tires or you start to feel it in the ride, then you know that you need to replace it for sure. The other car, that the tires are starting to show uneven wear because the shocks are not doing their job.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So the advent, whoever decided, whatever place in the world decided to start taking pictures and videos of your car and showing you the stuff. Very, very smart. Good job.
Yeah, I think a lot of dealers, I think it happened, at least the first place I encountered it was a BMW dealer where they were like, here's our, like, we're not ripping you off thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then I think now that it's become popular at a lot of dealers, a lot of independent shops have gone to it too, because similar situation, right?
One of the benefits being that since I go to an independent mechanic that I've known for years and years and years, the car has a 100,000-mile warranty for drivetrain. So they look at stuff and they're like, hey, this is a drivetrain problem. Look at this. See this grease that is here spraying all over your engine? That is from your axle. You need that replaced. I told this story, And then you can take those pictures to the dealer and be like, yo, look at these pictures. And they have nothing to do except fix the part.
Right. Because you've got the proof staring them in the face.
So it's like double good for those reasons. But yeah, so now we are in how little and how much do we have to do at once mode on our maintenance, and every couple thousand miles now will be like large maintenance bills until we get all these problems sorted out. And I learned something new that since we're on cars, good tires sometimes cause bad problems. Did you know this, JJ?
Define good.
So I bought directional all-season tires for my car, the highest rated ones we could get, especially through Costco.
Directional. You have to
directional.
define good.
Directional tires are better tires than normal Omni tires, right? They wick water and provide grip better than those things because of the
Okay.
pattern on the tire.
Okay, so
But
spray
it means
patterns. Got it.
but it means that the pattern can only stay pointing forward, which means the tires can only be rotated one direction, etc.
Oh, this is a problem I've always had because all my recent cars have had staggered fitment, so it's impossible to rotate them.
Oh, great.
So it's even worse than your problem.
Directional tires also seem to we've now noticed on the fourth or fifth tire that I've now had damage to the tire with a nail or something else. Push whatever is getting stuck in the tire outward toward the sidewall,
Where it then like rips something.
where it then cannot quote unquote be repaired because it's too close to the sidewall.
Yeah, were you like having issues with traction or water?
I might have less issues than I think and switch over to some other tires.
Yeah, like it doesn't rain, it rains around you and
I had a great
like,
time driving in the snow this past week, 2 weeks ago.
Let me
nice.
clue you in, man. People have been driving on snow and ice with normal tires for a very long time and having no issues. If you have 4-wheel drive, you're good. Like,
yeah, it might be time to reconsider the type of tires we're buying. Because this past maintenance, they found not a nail, not a screw. They found a full-on just chunk of metal sitting in the tires. I'm having some bad luck.
that seems not great. Yeah. Well,
Man,
from not great to actually great. I mentioned this in a podcast a little bit ago. I will shout them out because they are great and they don't advertise. Shelved by Genre, a podcast that I've been listening to for a little bit, has started their Lord of the Year set, which they didn't want to call it like Year of the Rings because other people have done that, and then they didn't want to call it, what was the other one? Year of the Ring, because like other, anyway, so they settled on Lord of the Year with like the funny idea that like, well, there could be a Lord every year,
right? Yeah.
And so they are reading the.
It also sounds like an award show.
Kind of, right? So they are reading Tolkien's works. So that's The Hobbit, the 3 Lord of the Rings books, and the Silmarillion in that order, at a leisurely pace. For instance, in like 2-week chunks. I think this most recent 2 weeks was the first 4 chapters of The Hobbit.
Decently leisurely. Those are short chapters.
It's not long. Yeah. The difference is normally in their 2-week pace, they'll just like read a whole book, or like an entire comic run or something. So it's usually quite a bit more text. And this is like leisurely for them. So I have been like going back through that stuff, and man, The Hobbit is just a good time, you guys. When was the last time you guys read that book? That book is great.
Funny story on this end is about 6 months ago, maybe less. I decided that it was getting harder and harder to find podcasts that were interesting to both my kids in an age spread and also keep up with, like mini story podcasts and all these types of things. And I said, screw it. We're just going to start Tolkien in the car. So I got all the audiobooks and we started with The Hobbit, and we are 2 chapters into the 2 Towers.
Nice.
Maybe 3 chapters into the 2 Towers.
Nice.
So we're a decent clip of the way in on this situation.
Have they noted that I think the thing that struck me is like rereading The Hobbit. Gandalf is just like a scamp, you know?
Oh yeah, he's having a great time in The Hobbit.
He's just out
rolling it.
there,
Yeah.
tra la la, having a good time. He
Making
disappears, comes back. They're like, Gandalf, where did you go? He's like, oh, I was, looking ahead on the trail and scouting out where we were going. It's like, well, why did you come back? Well, I looked behind. It's like, all right, Gandalf, I see it.
Yeah, he's just having a fun time.
really off hitting that pipe weed.
The elves in Rivendell are all singing songs and stuff, and he's just like, shut up, stupid elves. Like, we're going here. Let's go. Yeah, it's a good time. Like, that book is very fun.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see how the tone will change when I have to read Lord of the Rings, and it's like, 3 months pass in one paragraph in The Hobbit,
Yeah.
And then in Lord of the Rings, it's like 3 chapters.
Lord of the Rings, man. The thing that I have noticed the most so far is I am surprised my kids are not bored out of their minds.
So I was just going to say, are your kids super bored?
It goes through some long stretches where there's not a whole lot of plot development.
I mean, the hills of Ammon Hen, right?
Sure are a lot of them.
Ooh, that's a long.
We're going to hear about everyone.
2.5 chapters. There's a lot of thinking and a lot of side thinking and a lot of like, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And there's really like 3 chapters that are like action, and the rest of the 20 chapters of that book is a lot of descriptions of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big travelogue, effectively.
Yeah.
Talking about the land and the hills and the valleys and the kings who used to live there.
Oh my God.
All that stuff.
The amount of times that he's like, they looked left and they saw 7 paragraphs worth of descriptions. And then they turned down to the hill. And before they got to all the things that they saw, they turned right and they saw all these things. And it's like, whew, you're just describing a map, man.
And in fact, he did. One of the great things, which unfortunately you have missed by doing the audiobook, is there are beautiful illustrations that Tolkien, some of which Tolkien himself drew, and then, by many, many other people for all of these books. I have an illustrated and annotated version of The Hobbit. The annotations are not necessary. A lot of them are just like, hey, here's interesting facts or how the versions have changed over the years or whatever, which is interesting to me, an adult reader, but like not necessary to the story at all.
Yeah.
But the illustrations and the pictures are beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. So I would highly recommend people seek out those illustrated versions just for, just stuff to see. And the book is not long. The Hobbit is a very short book.
Yes.
Oh, The Hobbit's wonderful. I could read that every couple months easily.
Yeah, and it's like the grade level is not high. Like you say, the chapters are short. You can just fly through one pretty quick. Good times. So I'm excited to hear them get through it. And I'm very excited to hear them listen to, and so then like they do bonus episodes in between every couple of regular episodes, where they're going to do, like they're going to watch the movies, they're going to watch the, other like Lord of the Rings adjacent type media and stuff. So I'm very curious to see them. Like they're all talking openly about how worried they are about having to watch the Hobbit movies because they suck. And the joke was that like actually the first 4 chapters of The Hobbit is the first movie, basically. It's like the movie covers almost nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a fun time. I'm glad to hear your kids are liking it, Andy. I'm sort of shocked they're like The Two Towers when I was a kid was the place I fell off. Like that book is really boring, I felt.
So far it's actually a little bit quicker paced at the beginning here where the other book okay, do we do spoilers? I mean, come on, right?
Spoilers for like
this point
80-year-old books.
Okay, so like book 1, Gandalf dies, right? And it's like midway through the book, and both my kids are still convinced that he's not dead for some reason. I have no idea how
What?
or why they're convinced of this, I've never let on. They've never seen any media or talked to anybody that's ever read it that I know of.
Not culture. There's cultural osmosis at some point, though, right? People know that Gandalf is a thing in these books, right?
I guess maybe, I don't know, but
I mean, they're not going to see him for a while, so
yeah. Then in the second book, it's like, hey, chapter 1, Boromir. Hey, chapter 2, everyone's like chasing people across the plains of Rohan, and there's a lot of yapping and action and running and doing things. And chapter 3 is like, we're gonna meet Amber, and then Amber's gonna, help us with the flashback to a gigantic battle. They love Treebeard already. I mean, there's a lot of new characters and new things happening in that situation.
it's the back half of book 2, though, when it's all Frodo and Sam and Gollum.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the part that got me as a kid.
oh yeah. I forgot about that part.
I mean, if you get to the end of it, though, it's a pretty spectacular cliffhanger moment, right? In the books,
dude,
right?
The book has a perfect ending. Yeah.
Yeah. The movies killed that as an ending.
Yeah. It turns out Tolkien knew what he was doing in writing the books the way he did. But yeah, it doesn't work. It didn't do it in the movies, of course.
Bummer.
So I'm happy they're enjoying it, Andy. That's a cool thing to share, because those books are great.
they're good. You just have to get into them, right? And I think they're doing well. So,
and
more
probably
later.
good for the kids to listen, because there's a lot of big words that would be
that too.
rough
Yeah,
reading.
that too, and the ability to just like osmose a little bit at a time breaks up the monotony quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I noticed it more on our long drives to and from the snow this past, month, where it was like, man, there's just a lot of description happening here.
Mm-hmm. You were looking for something to happen.
I was like, I know what's happening. Why are we not getting there?
All right. That's great. I wanted to talk about some movies a little bit. I know, Andy, you and I have both seen Wake Up Dead Man, but I think we'll table that discussion maybe for a while. If
Has Michael not seen Wake Up Dead Man?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Michael, I don't know how to impress upon you. It's very different.
So I've been told.
It's very different and worth watching, I think.
I liked it.
Consider me impressed upon.
But I want to talk about some other movie stuff. So, for a gift this year, I was given a cool thing that I had not heard of before. The box on it, it's like a bunch of flashcard sized cards. And the gift was like, hey, these cards are all movies, and, we're going to watch all these movies.
Oh.
But, so it's like, top 50 movies or whatever I think it says.
Okay.
Unclear how that's determined.
By AFI or like?
Unclear. But the cards are scratch off. So you don't know.
Codes?
No. It's just like it doesn't tell you what the movie is.
Oh, and then you got to go find the movie and watch
scratch it.
So you get at the bottom, you get the rating, you get the year, and you get like, comedy, romance, drama, a little bit like that, right?
Okay.
So we've just been pulling stuff randomly from the box and watching a few movies over the break and over the last couple weekends.
Is it nice to have someone pick a movie for you again, like when we had Blockbuster?
Kinda, it is. Yeah. We've watched stuff that there's no way I would have ever considered watching without it, have you guys seen The Bodyguard?
Yes.
Oh, it's a classic.
I mean,
I think I had
cultural phenomenon, The Bodyguard.
I think I had heard every song in that movie, but I don't know that I ever sat and actually watched the whole thing. I've definitely seen parts of it because like certain scenes seemed very familiar, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't think I ever sat and watched that whole movie.
That's the whole thing with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, man.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Really, really great. You know, the famous, like, probably like 5 famous Whitney Houston songs from that movie. That was cool. Let's see, what else have we watched? We watched 10 Things I Hate About You.
All right.
Yeah.
Classic.
90s kids.
Classic, right? What were some of the other ones?
10 Things I Hate About You?
Toy Story, the first one.
Is that the 90s? Yeah, it's got to be the 90s.
Yeah, it was definitely the 90s.
Well, the Toy Story is the 90s. I meant 10 Things I Hate About You, but
yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You is also the 90s based on the music soundtrack, so it for sure was.
Yeah, we
90s.
actually also just watched Toy Story. We have finished every animated Disney film A to Z, and now we are watching every Pixar animation A to Z. Not A to Z. By date.
Oh, so
yeah,
timeline-wise.
I know you had a list.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Toy Story holds up.
What else did we watch? I think we watched one more, and I can't remember it.
Did you start a list for this year? That's what you're supposed to do, my man.
Yeah, I didn't do that. We have the card
and everything.
We have the cards, so I didn't throw any of the cards away. So we still have them. I just haven't gone through and resorted the ones that we have watched.
I'm already 3 movies in this year.
Obviously, we watched Wake Up Dead Man, so I don't know if that counts, but
that counts.
Anyway,
I mean, that was last year.
It has been cool and fun to watch a bunch of movies that I would not have otherwise. Like, you know, by the way, some of these movies hard to find. Not playing anywhere.
Sure, yeah.
You know where I've started to find movies now more easily? If you're willing to wait for them, the library.
Yeah, so definitely the library we had to do for a couple of them. And that's one of the things we're like considering is that like we may have to scratch some of these off in advance to like see if we can find them. Because like it's fine from the date ranges on these movies seem to vary pretty widely. There's some in the 2000s, but there's some like back in the 60s and 70s, and I'm not super sure how how easily we'll be able to find those, you know.
A lot of the 60s and 70s you can rent for $2 on Prime pretty easily if you want to do it that way.
I don't, but like it's, you know, it may be the only option depending on what they are, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
our docket this year actually
tells me to watch Citizen Kane, you know.
Oh, you could find that.
Yeah, like you can find it, but if it tells me to watch, you know, something else from 1974,
we had a tough
less
time
clear how easy it'll be.
We had a tough time finding Planes, Trains, and Automobiles to watch.
A Christmas movie.
Yeah,
we watched that during Christmas season. I think our big thing is similar to yours. I don't know if we're gonna do it in random order or not. I might put them all in a hat and pick them out and watch them in random order. But we're gonna do all the 007 movies this year.
Oh, that's fun.
I like that.
You have them all?
I went to the library today.
And now you have them all.
That's very fun. Up to when? Up to modern? So like all of them?
All the way into Daniel Craig. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Man, there are some weird movies in the middle run there. That'll be interesting.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I think shuffling them up is a fun idea because then you could like get a modern, like actual like movie. You know?
As far as I can tell,
some 70s nonsense, you know.
As far as I can tell, there's only 1 or 2 that have like direct sequels, right?
And I think it's really only as you start to get into the modern ones. There might be one or 2 Sean Connery ones that are supposed to line up.
Yeah, I don't even think so, really. It's like, you know, they don't follow as directly as the modern ones do, for sure.
Yeah, but like none of the Pierce Brosnan ones are tied together. I don't think any of the Roger Moore ones are tied together.
Nope.
I got to tell you that when rewatching all the, watching some new ones and rewatching old ones of the Mission Impossibles last year, the weakest ones, it felt like to me, were the ones that were like directly and immediately connected, right? Like when there was like the Ghost Protocol and whatever came after it that was like the 2 back-to-backs, and It's
The
like,
most recent two, basically.
yeah. They kind of felt weakest because they were it was like one long movie, but it wasn't connected or whatever.
That plane stunt was pretty cool, though.
I mean, it's still Mission Impossible.
Right, yeah. at the end of the day.
Right.
It's like still worth watching.
Even cold pizza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
cold pizza
exactly.
has a definite space in my diet that it shouldn't.
It's wasteful. Someone has to eat this. All right. What else we get up to? Michael, you were talking about mini golf for some reason.
I
Uh-oh.
was, because I believe that Andy and I did the same thing. So we, over the break, had a reservation for a pop-up that was going away with the end of last year, so we managed to squeeze it in. Pixar, speaking of Disney and Pixar movies, had created an indoor mini golf. It wasn't Pixar that created it, but a company created an indoor mini golf experience where all of the holes were themed on different Pixar movies. It was called Pixar Putt.
Yes. I went there with my spouse and children, thanks to you.
Indeed. Indeed, we had gifted we used you guys as guinea pigs a little bit, but we gifted you that to see how it went, and so I'm curious to hear what your experience was like and compare it with our own.
I think we tried to give you a overview play of the situation. Did
Yes,
you take your children is the first question I have before answering.
we did.
You probably didn't have as much fun as you thought you were going to have.
I think I had about as much fun as I expected. I think I set a pretty realistic expectation of what it was going to be like.
Okay. JJ,
Yes.
unlike mini golf, all of these things fit in one large ballroom in a hotel.
So it's like holes
Ev-
right next to each other inside a big room.
Every
Yes.
hole is a self-contained, constructed piece of what I considered artwork.
That's a very good description of it.
Okay.
Much more, you might want to look up pictures or something if you can, but much more than being a mini
I'll
golf,
Google.
much more than being a mini golf course. Most of the holes were like set pieces almost for how to describe the movie that they were from, including like the last hole being a straight shot where you tap your ball up into the house from up and then they crank it to the top as if it was floating. Your ball was floating away and then it falls out and drops down and then you're done with mini golf. So it's all designed very aesthetically first in my mind and less putt first.
Absolutely.
Um Unfortunately, you also had to stand on these things. And so even by the time we had gotten there, which was early on, they were showing a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah, I'm curious, Andy, was the inside out hole working when you were there? The spinning wheel of emotions.
It was not
It was not
spinning
spinning. Okay,
as far as I can
same
tell.
when we were there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing some pictures of this. Yeah, I see what you
You know,
mean.
like
Art.
one of them, I think it was Coco, had a guitar that you were supposed to shoot the ball along it.
And it rolled down the
It,
strings of the
it
guitar, and
you did it though.
mine did, and then it got stuck
Mm-hmm.
in at the end of one of the strings without
It
falling through.
it sure did. It sure did, Michael. If your ball made it there, it got
If it
stuck.
made it there.
Uh-huh.
I
I went into it thinking it was going to be a little bit different than it was. I got decently frustrated early. And then had to remember that the kids were still having fun and kind of like put that aside, but like there were certain holes where it was just like, this is not designed to be fun or like challenging. It's just designed to look good. And I'm hitting the ball correctly for this. And it's like if you've played pool on a table that's not flat.
Yeah.
This was designed for you to take pictures that were cool with, not designed to play golf, is what you're telling me.
That's a little bit what it felt like, because even like I could get behind if you showed up and it was like, oh, okay, this is like supremely easy because it's pretty, but it's made for kids and everything's like really flat and like easy to shoot, you know? And then it would have been like, I'm going to step back and just have some fun and watch the kids have fun. But even they were like, I don't know how to get the ball over this like bridge that just keeps rolling backwards on me.
Yeah, so it was designed JJ by someone who has a very good knowledge of like set piece design, a working knowledge of playing mini golf, and almost no knowledge of like the physics of hitting a golf ball. So there was
I can't tell you how many times my ball popped out of places.
Oh yeah, there was the one that got me. There's one hole, JJ, where it was cars themed, and it was just the 95 that is Lightning McQueen's logo, and you could go around the logo, you could putt around the logo, or you could try and hit it into a very narrow channel in the middle of the logo, but you had to get the ball, you had to have hit the ball hard enough to like shoot it up the channel and have it go around a loop the loop, and then it would funnel back down to the other side of the logo. But the numbers were so tall, yes, that you would have had to crush the ball to be able to get it all the way up the ramp.
Yeah.
Right. So like a cool quote unquote idea, but the reality of the physics behind it are that no one is going to be able to actually make this happen.
Yeah, designed for pictures, not for actual play.
Yep.
So, I'm sure the pictures were cool, and if your kids had fun, then like, they won,
exactly.
right? It's fine.
That was the thing I had to walk away with at the end, and I was like, I wasn't uber disappointed, and it was, fun for pictures, and the kids had a good time, and we went out for the day, and went out for shabu shabu after, and they had a fun day. So
that's what matters.
If someone were to bring it back, I'd say they need to hire some sort of putt designer first and build these things.
Just design it in conjunction with them. Yeah.
No, just like have a designer build a hole, and then we'll build around it the theme.
Yeah, the golf part is needed. Yeah, lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds like that was pretty fun. What else did we get up to this break, y'all? We do anything fun? I played some games. Do you want to talk about games?
We can talk about some games. I played a game.
I could tell you about how old and how young I felt in the last few days, but it's not game related.
Okay, let's do that first.
Now I'm intrigued, so we got to start there.
I went snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm not yet 40, JJ.
Uh-huh.
But I definitely had a knee brace on for the first time.
Oh, did you mess your knee up pretty good?
No. I was told by my doctor to wear a knee brace before going.
No, preventive.
It was yes, I now wear the Andrew Luck special on my left knee during certain sports.
Just as like preventative from tearing or whatever, or like
to prevent further damage to whatever's going on with my left knee, which is possibly a pre 20s ACL not complete tear or whatever. Yeah. So that was fun to try and sneak that under my snowboard pants so no one would know. And then
Andrew, no one would care.
I know. It actually,
so many people wear so much gear now that like you would have been like no one would have even batted an eye.
by the end of the day, usually my knees are both kind of like not on fire, but definitely like
Tired, yeah.
tired. My knees were not nearly as tired actually, so it did
Well,
its job.
success.
Take some of the
Take
strain
some of
off.
the strain off, yeah. And then trying to snowboard with a learning snowboarder, I owe apologies to a lot of people. That's all I have to say.
So were you attempting to be the teacher?
I let someone else be the teacher the first day and went snowboarding on some blues, but the lines were horrific because most of the mountain was closed due to the storm and an avalanche.
Hmm.
Um, so we had very few ways and places to go. You just had to be really patient and understanding, and I think a lot of people were. The people that stayed were anyway.
Yeah.
And the second day, we got in some good time, and they had more of the mountain open, um and yeah, I did some teaching the second day because there was still some things to learn for sure.
I made a rule after in my 20s seeing a number of friends break up with their girlfriends after attempting to teach them how to ski and or
dear.
snowboard.
Uh-huh.
A succession of one was the same person multiple times, but there was like 2 or 3 different people who went through this process, and I was like, I will just never do this. I will
Okay.
refuse
Not worth the risk.
to teach my significant other.
I think court would not emancipate my children over me teaching them snowboarding. So
No, but it it created like people got in fights. It's a different dynamic, with you and your kids. But good practice, I guess, for when you eventually have to learn to teach them to drive and stuff. So
yeah,
True.
maybe they're not in charge of a vehicle that will kill anyone on a mountain.
I don't know. You guys giving them electric bikes? You could be in charge of killing people on the land.
No, they do not have any electric bikes. That's true.
Yet.
Well, we'll talk about that when that bridge swims up to us, I guess. But snow is still fun, JJ, especially
hell yeah, it is, dude.
When there's good snow on the ground. I had a wonderful time. I fell once doing exactly the same thing I did the last time I fell, which was try to listen to somebody talking to me on skis who skied behind me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I turned to listen to them, forgetting that I was connected to a snowboard,
And then you fell over immediately. Yep.
Yeah.
2 times, both times, exactly the same problem.
I have a question. Did your children decide to snowboard, or were they told, or did they pick between skiing and snowboarding? Was there like a discussion there, or did they just like have one that they wanted to do?
We let them choose. One went one way, one went the other.
That's fun.
Yeah. I did sit the snowboarder down and say, this
Look,
is
we're
very
fall over
hard.
a bunch.
This is very hard. You're going to see your sister get up on the mountain and doing things much faster than you. You cannot use that as an excuse to get frustrated and angry. And then I said, the thing you're going to learn the first day of this in ski school is how to fall down and how to get back up. That's all you're going to learn is how to keep getting back up, because that's what you do the first day of snowboarding. Fall down and keep telling yourself, I'm going to get back up.
That's correct from my understanding. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As a non-snowboarder, that's correct. Yes.
As a snowboarder, I wish someone had sat me down and said, that's all you're going to do the first day is fall down and fall down and fall down and fall down.
And truthfully, even like someone with supreme balance and like everything, it still won't matter. You're still going to fall, right?
Yeah,
you just have to like learn it on the board and the mountain and all that stuff.
What's funny is she has some natural tendencies that are going to help her a lot with snowboarding. And I saw them start to come out and I was like, oh no, I have to like tell her not to do it right now because we're learning something else. And if she doesn't learn the thing we're learning because she skips it to go to this next step because her body's already trying to do it, then she's going to have a lot of problems later.
The pain of teaching a child to do the thing the right way when they have found the easy way.
Yes.
Or their body is capable of it already, and they just need all the tools, right? It's like, here's a power drill and here's a bunch of screwdrivers. Like, yeah, you got to use the screwdrivers first. Sorry.
Understand how it works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get up to, Michael?
Let's see, what did we get up to? So we watched. I guess I'll do games because we touched on that. I finally took the opportunity to fire up Hollow Knight,
Oh,
The original?
the original.
Nice. A classic.
Yes, a classic. So I have I'm 3 hours and change into it, which has been far enough to really start to get into it. So I got through the first area and I am on to the green path.
All right.
So I fought Silk for the first time.
Yeah, you're in it for real now, right?
Yes.
spoilers.
Again, at this point.
Hornet. Yeah.
Hornet.
That's a good time, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're still enjoying it?
I am. Yeah, I like the movement. I like the. I really like the soundtrack.
The sound is so good in that game, man. The music is like half the reason the game is so good.
Yeah.
I played a few different games over the break, but I think the one that's of most interest to the people on this podcast is I got back into Puzzle Quest again.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yes. Relive the dream.
There's a remaster that came out and someone gifted it to me, and I was like, well, I gotta install this. Come on, for old time's sake.
Yeah.
And then I fell back into the hole.
Did the changes make it easier to stay in the hole?
So I was going to ask how much you remember about that game. So because I don't remember, there was an expansion that came out. I don't remember if I played that at the original time. And then also there's a lot of classes. Were there a lot of classes when you and I played?
There were like 6 classes to start with, I think.
Okay. I feel like there's more. There's like monk and I think like druid and paladin and knight and stuff like that were there. But then I don't remember like monk and thief and stuff like this.
Yeah, that must be from the expansion. I don't remember monk.
But so I picked monk because I don't know, monk. All about like using these abilities that build a focus buff on you, and then you can spend the focus points to use other abilities to do stuff.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Cool.
You remember, Andy, I know for sure. Michael, did you play this game?
I don't think I played. This is the original Puzzle Quest, right?
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played this one.
So it's a match 3 game, right? To be clear, what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
You match colored gems, you match little stars for experience, you match gold coins, and you match skulls for damage, right?
Got it.
There's a whole bunch of different colored gems, and all these things are on the board at the same time. And you go, and then the computer goes, right? But same board. You're sharing a board.
And all your magic, quote unquote, abilities build off the gems that are colored as well.
Right. So it's I need like 8 red and 4 yellow in order to cast this spell that gives me 2 damage to the opponent plus, modifiers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And then those spells can also directly affect the board too. Like, this one's going to take out a whole row or whatever.
This one is going to automatically gain me all the purple ones, or this one is automatically going to destroy all the red ones, or transform all these into skulls, or whatever, right? There's a whole bunch of different ones.
Sure. Yep.
Andy, and I know that game is supreme BS.
Oh yeah, the computer cheats. It knows everything that's coming.
So, at some point, I was looking at the game Steam page and like reading some of the notes and stuff. They published an update in this version that reined it in.
Oh my god!
They said the game now keeps track of luck, quote unquote. They don't explain what that means, but ensures that the computer will not be more, quote unquote, lucky than the player.
The computer will not be more lucky than the player.
And then that number adjusts up and down for like boss fights. There's a wider range, and then like on higher difficulties, there's more or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like the way they explain it is like, so the thing that happens in this game, Michael, is like you make a match somewhere on the board, a bunch of new gems fall down from the top, right?
Okay.
And then like sometimes they cascade into each other and you get a whole bunch of things that go off and like crazy things happen, right? Except that happens for the computer, it feels like, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And for
especially
you,
later
rarely.
on. Yeah, well, especially later. It was always like, oh, well, these wolves are easy to fight. I can do enough damage. And the higher level you get, the easier it is to like trigger an ability that will just kill them. So it didn't matter that they could cheat or whatever.
Yeah, you could like level out of the problems early on, right?
Okay.
Easily, yeah.
And then like later in the game, though, the computer gets so many bonus turns. The computer like would just cascade into the things they need constantly. Even if you're trying to like play keep away or defense or whatever, it just becomes impossible. And then they just like
hit lucky roll after lucky roll after.
A lucky match of skulls falls down from the top and kills you immediately, right? So apparently, I'm not that far into the game, but apparently they've reined this in to some degree. And it seems to be the case that the computer is less frequently getting random 4s and 5s of a kind that cascade into each other and kill me, which I remember happening somewhat frequently before now, which is nice. But also, I think it goes the other way too, that if you get super lucky, you can expect the computer to get super lucky.
So like the rubber banding goes both ways.
If you're hitting a big like a 4 of a kind and a 5 of a kind and then like a chain of like 4 or 5 other cascades, you can expect at some point the computer is going to get something like that, or at least like several 4 of a kinds in a row or something like that, right? The other thing, Andy, is I never did this before, but I looked up like, hey, what is like the actual strategy in this game? Like, how do you be good?
Okay, or like how do you the thing for me wasn't necessarily how to be good. It was like, how do I get to the end of this? Isn't there like a story here? And it was like, it was always side quest to death, and then I've lost interest.
There are a billion infinite side quests. Like the game will just never stop throwing quests at you if you just like keep playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a marker that tells you what the main quest is, which is like slightly different color than the other one. So that's like kind of nice. I don't remember if that was in the original or not.
Yeah.
But Andy, apparently there is just like a set of broken items in this game that I never found. I had no idea this was in the game. I don't know if this was added later. But like when I was reading about like, oh, like what are the good builds? Like, what classes are good and what ones aren't or whatever. All the guide was divided into, do you use these items or do you not use these items?
Oh, okay.
So they're that broken. Okay.
And they're like, any build can win. Like they're basically like, look, man, it's still a match 3 puzzle game. Like you can win with any of these. They put them in the game because they know that it's possible. Right? They're like, but the best builds all use these items. And it's 2 items. It's a cloak and a ring. And I think, I don't remember which one it is. One of them makes you gain this hidden status after you get a 4 or 5 of a kind match.
So they can't like target you?
So I think what it does is it lasts until you are dealt damage. But obviously, in this game, when you make a 4 of a kind, you get to go again.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get the match immediately, right? Like you make the match, then you get to do something with it.
Right.
But crucially, the status, I think, gives you some sort of a damage multiplier. And the other one, whichever of the other one is, doubles your damage while you have that status.
Okay.
You do an absurd amount of damage. Like I match a set of skulls and it's like 45 damage.
So it's just quick kills before they even get the chance to get lucky.
It's just like, it doesn't matter what points you put into anything else because you deal so much damage. So I can see why the like people that are like debating how to do the best or whatever are like, if you do this, it doesn't matter what else you do. The correct thing to do is to pump all your points into skulls damage. Which is interesting, and I've never played that way before. So I'm enjoying the like now the only thing I want to do is like hunt for skulls as soon as I have this buff, but make sure that I don't take any damage. Because like if they damage you, the buff goes away, right? It lasts for a few turns and then goes away on its own, or if you take damage. So it's giving me kind of a new way to play, and it helps with like a lot of the really annoying, really long fights in that game.
Oh yeah, I'm remembering a class that was like skulls were the class. I can't remember which class that was, but it was like everything was related to skulls. It seems like that would be the one you would want to pick.
I'm sure there's better ones and worse ones. I think the monk is not that great of a class, I'll say, from my experience in it so far. But it has a couple really great moves. The focus move gives you like +1 damage, which is fine, not great, but you have to do it a bunch of times in order to get like a useful effect out of it. But you can spend a bunch of those focus points to stun the enemy for multiple turns based on how many you've spent, and that's great.
Nice.
So anytime you can stun them and like take 3 turns away from them is like awesome. So it's been really fun playing that. And it just like so nostalgic, man. It's like right in the feels of the past right there.
Did they update graphics or anything like that from the most recent version of the
I feel like
HD or whatever?
The art is higher res, so I don't know, like, did they upscale the PSP art or whatever? I didn't like go back and make a comparison.
The challenge of the warlords, man.
Yeah, and I think this one is called Immortal Edition or something like that.
Okay.
It's the newest one. But yeah, that game is legitimately great and like a lot of fun. So high recommendation to people out there.
It's going to be a game that stands the test of time. I mean, just the
has.
better it gets. I mean, if they can take away things that made it unfun, you know, more the better for everybody.
Yeah, it really is the end game of that game that gets the most BS. So I'm very curious to see as I push forward, you know, if it stays as broken, but maybe the new broken items have like even like feel a little more. It's like, oh, you do 80 damage to me? Well, surprise, you know?
I think they call that the good old toodaloo.
Yeah. And plus, you know, like no one's going to be able to play new games anymore because, you know, gestures at the market these days. So, you know, always good to have some classic games on tap.
Yeah, $82 for groceries these days.
Oh, I just mean like, you know, try and buy a stick of RAM and you have to mortgage your house.
Yeah.
They're all related, I think. all these problems are related, maybe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know that food prices and RAM prices are directly related, but they're not unrelated.
True.
That is for sure.
Yes.
All right. Quick wrap up here. You guys like gonna watch any of the football playoffs? Excited, Andy? I know you guys both are, right? You're both in it.
Yeah, I get to take a break for a week.
And my team fell backwards into the playoffs, but they get home field advantage for it. So, or at least in this first round, so I get to watch them take on the Rams.
You know, I feel like that. I feel seen by the Panthers. I feel like I tripped backwards all the way through the new year. So, you know, they must be a lot of people's spirit animals. I think who do we get the loser or we get the winner of
you should get the lowest remaining seed, right?
Yeah, we should get the winner of. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule at this point, or if it's not determined yet.
I think unless there's an upset, you would probably get the winner of the Chargers and who are they playing?
Well, the Chargers are a high seed.
No,
the Chargers are playing.
They're a lower seed than you. You're the one.
Oh, that's true.
We're in your division.
Yeah.
What are they, a 5 or a 6, I think?
I don't remember. So potential, let's see, the Chargers. It's the lowest advancing seed, so it could be any of 4 teams, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't
Okay,
be the Patriots or the Jags because it's 2 and 3. So it would have to be Pittsburgh, Houston, Chargers,
Or
Buffalo.
Depending on who advances, right?
Yeah.
The low seeds from bottom to top are Chargers are the bottom, then Buffalo, then Houston, then Pittsburgh,
I
then
would rather
Jacksonville.
play. Is that weird to say? I would rather play the Bills, the Texans, or the Steelers than I would the Chargers. I just a
Fair,
divisional opponent. A divisional opponent in the playoffs is just a recipe for disaster.
I understand that. On the other side of the bracket, though, the Bears are playing the Packers. That's a divisional
yeah,
game.
there you go.
That's
So
really funny to me.
it is. It's extremely funny. Effectively playing them for the 3rd time this year.
Well, and the game, the team that basically ruined their playoff run is the Bears. Where they had that game where everybody got injured all in one game.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
It's like, is it a revenge game? Is it a total blowout? Is it a...
Yeah, who knows? It's going to be very interesting, I think. So we'll see where it goes, man. I think there's going to be some good games to watch this weekend. I'm excited to get into them. Michael, if people want to get at us this weekend, where can they send that?
They should email us at podcast@weweregamers.com. You should tell us what runs you enjoyed at AGDQ this year.
Ooh, yes,
That is
thank you.
ongoing right now. So go out and watch something fun and tell us what we missed.
Oh man, there's a Donkey Kong 64 randomizer race, 4-player race coming up.
I'm looking forward to that one.
I saw they were racing. What was the game I saw them racing earlier this week? Shoot. Dang it, why'd I say it if I don't remember the game? Well, anyway, their stuff is always pretty good, so I'm definitely excited to check out some VODs and some stuff live.
Yeah. And maybe next week you guys can hear about
sorry. I remember the one when I tuned in, I was like, what the heck is this? It was I think it was a Wii game. I think it was Fantasy Boxing with Hatsune Miku.
I mean, I love the sound of that.
There's a lot of good words in there, yeah.
And the guy was like, it's like a fitness boxing kind of game, where he was like punch, right, left, hook, up, that kind of stuff. And so the guy, like the runner was like, dressed in workout clothes because he was working out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious.